Hello again, ElPresidenteTel, second time on a Thursday evening. I've got my whiskey here and I'm going to keep the bottle nearby because it's one of my favourite subjects, religion. Okay, this was a story that was on admittedly 4 days ago, but this is the first time I've kind of got round to talking about it. But it's on the BBC's website. For those of you who want to read the whole thing, I'll put a link to it. Now, the BBC has conducted a survey of all 63 Anglican and Catholic cathedrals, and responses were gained from 53 of them. So 10 of them obviously don't give a shit enough to actually send the survey in. But what this article tells us is that 24 of them are worried about meeting their running costs in 2 years' time, and that some of them might have to start charging an admission fee to go into the cathedral. One that's mentioned is Durham, that doesn't charge visitors for entry but asks them to make a £5 donation towards the running cost of £60,000 a week, despite which, on average, each visitor donates 32 pence, which the Reverend, or the Dean should I say, I apologise, Very Reverend Michael Sadgrove. Why is he very reverend? I mean, does he have 2 dog collars or what? Anyway, the average donation doesn't compare very favourably with the £5 we ask for and which we really need. My plea to visitors is, please be as generous as you possibly can. If you love this cathedral as a result of visiting, then be generous. Take a share in caring for it. Had to steel myself for this bit. Why should we, as non-religious people, if we want to go into a religious building, have to give you money to run the upkeep? £60,000 a week is the projected upkeep on these buildings. Durham is just one example, but they're citing £60,000 a week as their running cost. I mean, how much do communion wafers and wine cost these days? I mean, I know petrol is £1.40 a litre roughly, depending on where you go, if you can get any at the minute. But 60 grand a week, what is that going on? I mean, where is the breakdown of accounts on this? If that was a public company, if that was my NHS department and they said we're running on 60 grand a week and I considered that excessive, I'd like to see a breakdown of the figures and see where the money's going. More importantly than that, the churches are one of the only organisations in this country, other than charities, of which the churches are some, who are tax exempt. Where are all those savings going? From the taxes. And above that, since these buildings are listed buildings and part of our history, because unfortunately militant atheists and secularists amongst us, like it or not, Christianity is a part of our heritage. It's a part some of us would like to get rid of, but it's there. English Heritage and the Lottery Fund actually give the churches money for these buildings. The Heritage Lottery Fund has awarded £46 million to 103 cathedrals, including Durham. Its budget went up in the last year. It's going up again because more people are buying lottery tickets. Yes, the amount of cathedrals that are applying has gone up. English Heritage has been reduced in sort of the flip side of that. But most cathedrals, by its reporting, are in a good state of repair, and that most of the major repairs have already been done. So the question here I'm asking, I suppose, is why do the churches feel that they need special treatment? Why do they think, in a time when you and I are having to reach deep into our pocket, not only to fuel our cars, not only to pay for our houses, not only to pay for our council tax, not only to pay for the various other sundries that we have to pay for with the rent going up, why do they feel that they need our money as well? A lot of churches already take bountiful donations from their flock every Sunday when they pass round that gold plate embellished with rubies. Methinks perhaps some of these bishops might want to go to cash converters. I hear that there's a sale on at the money shop this weekend for gold. It's 11 quid a gram. I know it's not exactly a £5 donation, but it might help. But that's the point. Britain might have started as a Christian country, but we are now a country that celebrates many faiths, and many who don't have faith. That's the beauty of a tolerant society. You have Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Shinto, Rastafari, Pastafari and atheists, all living alongside one another, hopefully not interfering in each other's business. The government should be there to guarantee the freedoms of the individual. The freedom to worship and the freedom from worship. And to me, that includes not shelling out a bunch of money to a bunch of people who've already had decent enough tax breaks for buildings that I'm probably never going into. This is ElPresidenteTel, wishing everyone love, peace and liberty.